The hope was, oh my God, Brendan's gonna go to MacArthur and be a general and graduate from MacArthur and go wherever he wants to do, whatever he wants. The joke was he's gonna be this big football player because he's a big, big baby. You know, all these expectations. He's gonna sing, he's gonna act, he's gonna be the musician, he's gonna be playing in the band and all that stuff. He might have hated football. You know, he may have hated music. That would have been his call. But I guess as a mom and dad, you think this is what your child's gonna do, and you're like, this is awesome. And then you find out that none of that stuff's ever gonna happen. And that's tough. That's really, really tough. But as tough as that's on us, we know how hard it is, how hard his life is. Showers first. Huh? My son Brendan is now 21 years old, and Brendan has autism. Though he's an adult, he's not an adult. He has a very hard time speaking and communicating with us or getting his point out. He has a hard time dealing with big crowds and sometimes loud noises, but when he's at the school with the kids in the high school, that's his home environment. All those things go away. The kids in the school open up their lives to him and changed everything. And it just went crazy. It went totally crazy.
Show me which one you want me to read. I'll pick one. The safest method to avoid these guys is to run beneath them when they jump. When Brendan was 12 months old, I was already a little bit concerned because he wasn't talking, and I had friends who had, babies around the same age.
Maria would ask the doctors constantly, do you think something's wrong? Don't compare him to other children. That's what we would get. Don't compare him to other children. And she knew right away something was not right.
I was wondering, did I do something wrong? I didn't drink diet soda. I didn't drink coffee. You try to do all the right things when you're pregnant. I know I personally felt I just hoped they could help him. You just hope he'll overcome it. At the time, I don't think I realized it was a lifelong thing. Like there'll be delays and maybe he'll improve. There were so many concerns. Will he have friends? Will he always be alone? I just wanted him to have as full a life as he could, even with his limitations.
What's up, Brendan?
Thumbs up.
Badminton.
Badminton? You're gonna go play badminton?
Badminton.
Yeah, you're gonna go play?
The whole thing started a couple of years ago. Brendan started coming home talking about, I go see football.
He likes watching sports on TV. He likes watching the Yankees. He likes watching the Islanders.
But he kept saying, I go to football. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna bring him up to the game. Well, him and I were walking, and kids were walking by saying, hi, Brendan. And I'm like, these kids know who Brendan is? Hi, Brendan. Hi, Brendan. Would walk by, and we'd be like, what is going on? Him and I sat, and we watched almost the whole game. During the week, it was like, I go see football again. It started right away again, where he wanted to go back again. After the next game, we were standing, all the guys came off, were high-fiving him, telling, hey, Brendan, hey, Brendan. The coach of the football team was my quarterback growing up. And it's like, they talk about him all the time. And I'm like, he's like, yeah, they want him on, they've been doing really well. They want Brendan around as much as possible. They get a lot out of Brendan. And I'm like, what do they get out of Brendan? I'm like, what is he? He's like, he gives them a lot.
Goodbye. See you later, Big.
They just opened up their world to him.
He can sense when people are sad, which is typical. He can sense when they're happy.
When they won, he was in the middle of the huddles with them. And when they lost, he had like little tears in his eyes, or he was upset, he was mopey voice, because he knew that they were hurt. The team wanted him to have his own jersey to be part of the team. They gave him the varsity jacket with his name on it. From that day on, it just went bananas. They wanted him part of the basketball team. If we were wrestling, we were in the front row. We started watching the lacrosse games, and he was at every game again.
For our autism awareness game, Brendan was honorary captain for our team, and in the beginning of the game, he came out for the coin toss, just to see that he's part of the team, not only part of the school, but part of the football and lacrosse team. It was really special, and it's a special moment for him and his family, seeing how much these kids and how much my teammates love him and how much they care for him.
It just went on when the president of the Board of Ed was talking about this class and something that happened during this class. And Brendan and the entire graduating class stood up, turned around, and was cheering for Brendan. He's up in the stands, all the way up high out of the way, cheering for these kids because, they're cheering at him. It was just, unbelievable. We thought that was the end of it, and it was great. It started all over again in August when football started again.
Oh, this way. What's up, Brian?
When he first started here at MacArthur, he was probably one of the tallest students. We all knew Brendan because of that presence that he made in the hallway.
Over here, we've got a whole bunch of bowls, all different sizes, big ones, medium ones, small ones. So we need to organize them, right? What does it mean to organize something?
When I first met him, I never really had someone who had autism in my life, so I wasn't sure how to interact with him. But once I got to know him, it was like you didn't see Brendan as his disabilities. You saw him as Brendan and as your friend.
Where's the expiration date? Where is it? You
There
found
it is.
it!
There it is.
We try to promote social skills, communication skills, and we try to get them ready and transition them into the workplace. Specifically, we know that Brendan loves sporting events, so this is something that we can carry out with him after graduating.
You ready to play some basketball? Yes.
Didn't really know much about kids with autism, but much about kids in the ABA program. It was just amazing to see how many people care and how many people would come out for these games.
The Challenger Basketball League was started a couple of years ago in other districts around us. Our athletic director saw it and said, you know what, if these other districts can have a special ed basketball league, why can't we? And I'm like, Brendan's gonna play basketball? I'm like, I don't know how well it's gonna go. So like, bring him to a practice, we'll see what goes on, see if we can learn the game. And then we found out that Brendan liked playing basketball. Brendan would get a basket and he would be like, okay, he wants the whole bleachers standing up for him. He'd run the sideline. You know, he couldn't care less about the game. He'd be like, all right, everyone stand up and cheer for me.
That's it. Get him after.
The Salk MacArthur Challenger League has grown so big that everybody wants to be a buddy. There's a list now of buddies because at some games we can have 40 buddies ready to help. But the coaches are like overwhelmed with the amount of kids that want to help. Not knowing that a child has autism, a lot of people think that child's a brat because he's crying, because he's not getting his way.
Stand up, let's go.
Having a meltdown, that's a bad child. Bad parenting. You know, just a bad kid.
Whose house we going to? Say it, Morero's. I got Morero's times.
There's eight children in this class, and there's 8 totally different children in that class that all have autism. And not one of them's the same. And we've had a discussion with people before. I say, do me a favor. Right now, close your mouth and just pretend you're hurting. Tell me how you're hurting. Well, I can't do. Be like my son. He's not feeling good, but he can't tell me how he's feeling.
Brendan!
Who's here?
Brendan, hi! Look at me.
How would you get your words out? How do you communicate without being able to communicate? So when you see a child on the ground tantruming and having a rough time, that child might have a problem that, you know, you don't have any control over. And what am I going to say? I'm never going to take my child out. I'm going to leave him at home his whole life and never take him out of his room. No, as parents, we get our kids out and we try to, you know, let them see the rest of the world and see what's going on.
His favorite song is Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi. It's beautiful because you see the kids, you know, all cheering him on and, you know, screaming. They help turn his mood around sometimes when he's down, and that's, you know, really nice. That's it. They're all swirling. I want him to be happy. My hope for Brendan's future is for him to be as happy and independent as he can and feel like he's valuable. And because I think we all need to feel that at some point, that we matter in some way.
I have an incredible relationship with my son who I can't have a conversation with. But his friends, they, you know, they talk to me and they, you know, we have a lot of fun. I get to do a lot of things with him and his friends that I would never been able to do with just him. They've given me so much, and our goal now is to pay back. It'll take the rest of my life to give back what's been given to us. You know, he's made me such a better person. No one's ever had a number retired at MacArthur before. They gave him that number, and he took it. He took that number with him, and no one else is ever going to wear it again. So we're connected to MacArthur for a long time to come. you know, why did all this happen to Brendan? What did these kids get out of Brendan? He doesn't talk a lot. He doesn't, you know, do so-called normal things with them. And I'm always thinking they're just trying to be nice to him. And then I you know, parents, they'd say, but you don't understand what Brendan does for our children. He's made them different. He changed their outlook in life, how they look at things, and realize how lucky they are, what they have. By making him happy, they're changing his life. And they were enjoying it, and they had fun doing it. The once a general, always a general thing. He'll always have that, and those kids will always be here for him, which we've realized over the years.
Sometimes you wonder if your child's going to make a difference in the world. For a child who was nonverbal till he was 5, who still has so many challenges in his life, the fact that he has the power to do that, to sort of bring people together and make their relationships stronger, that's comforting.
Why him? And I don't know truly why, but we're lucky. We're very, very lucky.